Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive. You know how sometimes you run into a saying and it just kind of sticks with you?
hmm
That's what we're looking at today. One of those little nuggets of wisdom that packs a real punch.
I like that. A punchy nugget.
Right. This one really got me thinking. And it's from a source that, well, you've probably heard of the speaker. But this specific saying might be new.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Lay it on me.
All right, so here it is. Jesus said, "Father, I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of this world, but that thou shouldest keep them from the evil." Heavy stuff, right?
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there.
Absolutely. So this comes from the Bible, specifically the Gospel of John, and it's part of a longer prayer.
Yeah.
But even on its own, it's a lot to think about.
It is. And you know what strikes me right away? That prayer, it's not about escaping the world.
Yeah, that about checking out?
Exactly. It's about being in the world, but somehow staying safe within it.
Okay, so we're not talking about running away to a deserted island.
Nope. We're talking about engaging with all the messiness and the beauty and the challenges, but there's this request for protection woven in.
Yeah, and that's where things get interesting for me. Because what does that even mean? Protection from the evil. Like, what kind of evil are we talking about here?
Well, think about the context. These are the early followers of Jesus,
Yeah.
right? And let's be real, things weren't exactly peachy for them back then.
Yeah, they weren't exactly winning any popularity contests.
Not really. They were facing persecution, social stigma,
Hmm.
real threats to their safety and well-being.
So evil in this context could mean like physical danger, persecution.
Absolutely.
Right.
But it probably goes deeper than that, too. Remember, they were also trying to live by a new set of beliefs, a new way of life.
So maybe evil also represents those internal struggles,
Mhm.
the temptations to stray from their path.
Exactly. It's like the things that could pull them away from their values, their beliefs, the things that could make them compromise who they were trying to be.
Okay, so it's not just about dodging swords and arrows. It's about protecting something inside too, their integrity, their faith.
I think so. And you know what's really interesting? It makes you think about what evil looks like in our modern world.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. What are the things we need protection from today?
Well, it's not quite the same as dodging Roman soldiers, but think about it for a second. We are bombarded with information all the time, right?
Oh yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah.
iPhone's practically glued to my hand.
And a lot of that information, it's negative. It's designed to get a reaction out of us, to make us afraid or angry.
You're telling me it can be hard to even know what to believe anymore.
Right, and all that noise, it can really wear us down. It can make it hard to stay focused on what's important, on what we truly value.
It sounds like a modern-day evil, the constant barrage of negativity, the information overload.
I think it could be. And then there are the systemic injustices that are still so prevalent in the world, the ethical dilemmas we face with technology, even just the daily grind that can make us cynical and jaded.
So it's like all these things are chipping away at us,
Yeah.
trying to pull us off course.
Exactly. And that's why this idea of protection, it's more relevant than ever.
Yeah. Okay, but here's the thing that's always gotten me stuck. What does seeking protection even look like? Are we just supposed to sit back and hope for the best?
I don't think so. I think there's a real element of personal responsibility in this, too.
So we can't just be passive about it.
No, it's about making conscious choices, aligning our actions with our values, seeking out wisdom and guidance to help us navigate the tough stuff.
So it's not about waiting for someone to swoop in and save us.
Right. It's about actively participating in our own protection.
It's like we have a role to play in this whole protection thing. It's a two-way street.
I think that's a great way to put it. We're not just sitting ducks, but we're also not going it alone.
We're working with something, perhaps something bigger than ourselves, to find that protection.
And that's what makes the saying so profound. It acknowledges that we need help, but it also empowers us to take action.
Yeah, it's not a passive thing. It's an active choice to seek protection, to work towards it.
Absolutely. And that's a message that resonates just as strongly today as it did centuries ago.
Okay, so let's recap for a sec. We started with this short but powerful prayer, a request for protection. Not from the world, but within it.
And we dug into what evil might have meant back then and how that translates to the challenges we face in our modern world.
Right. And we landed on this idea that seeking protection isn't passive. It's about taking ownership, making choices, and maybe even having a little faith that something's got our back.
And as we wrap up this dip dive, I'd like to leave you with a question to ponder. If you were to rewrite this saying for yourself today, what would it sound like?
Ooh, that's a good one.
What are the specific evils that you need protection from? And what steps can you take to navigate them, both on your own and maybe with the help of something greater? That's something worth thinking about.
Absolutely. So much to think about. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. And until next time, keep seeking, keep questioning, and keep protecting what matters most to you.
Well said.